Hi, I'm Matthew from Big Drop, and I'm here talking to Johannes Schmidt from Leitz. And we're going to have a little chat about non-alcoholic products, where they're going, and where we're going to see them in a few years, hopefully. Over to you, Johannes. Just say hello and introduce your products.
Hi, everybody. I'm very glad, and thanks, Matt, for introducing me. I'm really glad to be here and have the chance to talk about the products we are offering through our partners of Enotria. We are very glad also to have the opportunity to talk with Matt about the non-alcoholic development or the alcohol-free development of the different products. So I'm very, very excited about the beers you have, Matt. And I just want to introduce some of our productions. So yeah, that looks great, a big drop. And unfortunately, I have not a nice shirt as you have, but I just have the button standing on the table. But yeah, I'm really, really excited, especially in the UK. We have a lot of people that are knowing the quality already that we are offering, and we do have several products here. You see, this is a still Riesling dealcoholized. We have a very, very delicious sparkling Riesling dealcoholized. We have a sparkling rosé dealcoholized, and then a still rosé dealcoholized. So these are the main products we have, but we have some more of them. But they are still trying to get learning. You know, they are.
The market's growing. I guess if you put every single wine you produced out as non-alcoholic, you'd have a lot of non-selling wine. So it's kind of about growing the product. I remember we've spoken before, and you spoke to me a lot about your vintage of the grape juice and where you wanted to come and your single estate concept. So it might just be worth covering that.
Yes, this is like the Leitz family. The Leitz estate where I'm working at is since, let's say, the last 30 years. They developed, the family developed the estate very, very intense. So they started in 1985 with a 2.5 hectare plantation. Now we are working at least at a 130 hectares plantation. We are one of the top 30 producers in Germany here. And since 4 years, we are also producing the alcohol-free products. So this is very exciting because we felt that the market is developing a demand for this. And we were one of the first that were, like we say very often, and don't get me wrong, we said we were brave enough to de-alcoholize a high-end wine. You know, we had from our production, the regular wine range we have, we took the wine from this portfolio and distilled it. So we removed the alcohol with a so-called vacuum distillation. This was very promising results in the first trials, and so we were eager to improve it and improve it and improve it. So today we have a very excellent quality, and we are so proud that we have every step in the production we have our hands on. So even the grapes, when we are harvesting or when we are working in the vineyards, we are working with the grapes to bring them to the point we need them to have, that they have exactly the acidity we need and the sugar level, because we don't want to have so much alcohol in this.
That coincides with a lot with what we do. I know we've as I said, we've had chats before, but we make our beer naturally. We try to produce it the same way that someone would have made beer 400 years ago in Germany. You know, the same concept. We control the sugar flow, the heat, and the ingredients going into the middle. But then, just as you were talking, it made me think about: do you pick different grapes to get different sugar levels, or do you like cut them earlier to reduce the sugar levels? Is there a whole different attitude to the juice going in at the beginning?
It's a very different product. If so, when you're producing wine, you just wait until the ripeness is perfect of the berries. You have sometimes you drive or you wait and you wait and you wait until the sugar level is high enough that you will get the alcohol level you want to have. So with the alcohol-free production, we need to take care of the grapes a little bit more, because on the one hand side, we need a certain level of acidity. But on the other hand side, we don't want to have so much sugar, because if you have so much sugar, you will have in the base wine too much alcohol that you have to remove in the end.
And then you lose flavor. Yeah, exactly. So, it's the same thing we do. It's that fine balance of the perfect ingredients to make the recipe, opposed to the perfect recipe that you can make anything out of an ingredient. You know what I mean? You got to get that right bit at the beginning. That's interesting. And what do you see for the non-alcoholic market? Do you see that sitting in every menu? Do you see it sitting on every table?
Yeah, Definitely, I see a very bright future of this for this product, because when I went to the UK in 2020, we did a tour through the whole United Kingdom, and with a bus. So we had several stops in different cities. So we went to Bristol, we went to Leeds, we went to Manchester, to Edinburgh, and I had a very, very intense conversation with different people, and all of them were very much excited about the quality of this product, because in the past, the alcohol-free products had a very, very bad reputation. And since we are working with this, we try to come as close as possible to the real taste of wine. I know exactly when alcohol is missing, a very intense or important carrier of taste is missing. But we try to do our best to have, on the one hand side, natural flavors in the products. On the other hand side, we don't want to have too much sugar in the product. So this is very, very detailed work what we do. I think it's the same with you and your products. So the beer is the same. It's natural products. And when we're working with natural products, we don't want to use any artificial flavors and so on. This is like you're very proud of what you're doing, and your customers are expecting this from you, because it's so easy to work with artificial substances, but this is not our work, you know. We are seeing this product in the same way as we see our wines: natural product, high-end quality, and the maximum, the maximum for the consumers, you know. And I see the future of these products is very, very bright, as I said, because you see very often people on different occasions. So, for example, weddings, or when they are sitting with friends somewhere, they don't want to have necessarily alcohol in their glasses. It's just the lifestyle product, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more. Like exactly what you're saying. That quality, that investment, that effort you're putting into making the same product is because the 1 in 4, say for example, that's not drinking, deserves the same amount of effort and passion and care. And there's more and more opportunities that are coming up where someone needs to abstain for whatever reason. You know, it might be work tomorrow. But for me, I look at, say for example, your product. It will be very sommelier led. There will be a lots of bar managers, bar owners, bar sommeliers that choose this and go, this is brilliant. The same for us. It has to be led from the team within to understand you're not going for the mainstream customer here. You're not going for everyone, but you are going for everyone's friend. And try and make sure that everyone in the group is catered for, so that if you go to a barbecue, if you go to a mate's house and you're driving, you've got someone thinking about you. It's really nice to be included, kind of thing.
Yeah, especially when you are the designated driver, for example, and then normally 5 years ago, you would have had a tomato juice, for example. Now you can have a very high-end dealcoholized Riesling. So this is completely different.
Yeah, one of the things I do, and I got this from when I went over to Germany for a couple of beer festivals and stuff, is I drink the non-alcoholic beer on the train in the morning, because I'd never seen it anywhere else before. But obviously in London, people were like, what's he doing drinking a beer on the train at 7 in the morning?
Actually, this rosé sparkling here was my pro wine drink 2019. So the whole time when you're sitting at the stand, you know, at the booth, coffee is like giving you the caffeine. Very, you know, your heartbeat is very, very accelerated. So this alcohol-free sparkling was for me the most delicious alternative that I could choose. So it was very nice experience. And by coincidence, I didn't realize during the day that I'm consuming the whole time the alcohol-free sparkling in the evening, when I was remembering what did I drink, or what did I consume during the day. Was there any water or what else? No, it was just alcohol-free sparkling. It was cool. So and it looks very nice if you have it in the glass, just swirl around and just get a sniff of the aroma.
Do you think I'm talking about the German market as well? Do you see more and more chefs working with these products and pairing their food with that product, rather than, say, for example, when you go to a fine end restaurant and they pair 10 different wines with 10 different courses? Can you envision a total menu that would be for a dry drinker alternative? So you went to a 10-course taster menu and there's 10 wines on a menu. Can you see that happening?
Yeah, definitely. So we have a lot of star restaurants working with our product. So For example, we have in Belgium, in Antwerp, so the Jane, for example, or in the Netherlands, sorry, for example, in Denmark and in Sweden, we are also working with very good restaurants, and so also in the US, there's a lot of restaurants taking in these products. I think in the UK we have the same, but I have the data for the UK not yet ready here, because when we started with our friends of Enotria in 2020, early 2020, then the pandemic came and we had to stop everything.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
I'm totally happy when we can come back and work on this, because I think the UK is one of the most liberal markets in thinking. In Germany, the people and the markets, they are very, they are not very conscious, self-conscious. So they say, alcohol-free wine, I don't know if it has a chance in the market. I don't know about the quality. The price maybe is too high. But I think especially the UK or Sweden as markets are very liberal, or they are very open-minded for this. So I see here a very good chance to bring it into the market, because the people, they are there is a demand for this products, and especially in the UK, we have made this experience in the last years that the alcohol-free products are easily to compare or to pair with food, and you have, for example, dishes that you could work on, so especially when you have like a Thai cuisine.
When you do come over, we've got into a couple of Michelin stars over here as well. We'll try some food and some non-alcoholic stuff together, all right?
Yeah, but
any excuse to go to a good restaurant.
Yeah, but it's always very important for me that I'm very proud that we are in this kitchen. But then when I was last time in the UK, we went to a restaurant, it was an Indian restaurant in London, and this was very, very impressive, because when you have these spices in the food that are very, very good, pair to these products, because they are not bone dry. They have a little higher residual sugar that comes from the grape juice that we are blending in. But this is a sign of quality. And so if you have a little more spicy food, this is easily for these products to compete with. So
I can imagine that working really well. I can imagine that'd be great.
Especially you have the alcohol-free character of this product, so you don't have to have any concerns. You can go out, you can do whatever you want, you can drive home, and everything's fine.
I mean, for us, we make our beer, and I envision us everywhere. I could see us on literally any menu, and that's kind of the great thing about our beer. We could be on a Michelin star, we're in bottles, we're in beautiful bottles, or we could be in a smaller place. But for us, we still want to stay craft and stay relevant. Do you make your wine for wine drinkers? Is it about making the best wine first and then de-alcoholizing it, or is it about making a wine that's accessible for everyone because it's right in the middle of the road of that Riesling?
Let's say this way, the majority of our wines is made in the way we want, because it's like our handwriting, so we want to have our style, and we don't want to create wines like a trend directs us, so some of the wines is like made for the customers, because they say, oh, we do want to have a little more residual sugar on this, so we can do blending. This is totally fine, and we do this also. But on the alcohol-free production, we don't do any market research and so on. We don't take a look what other producers of alcohol-free products do. So this is just our own understanding of quality, and we just want to develop these products in the sense or in the way that we want to have them.
I like that. I like that, because it's the same. I feel like a wine producer should make their own wine. I do believe that. I'm not picking up a bottle of the region. I'm picking up a bottle of that producer, because it's like that, and they do a really good example. I like that a lot. That's a really interesting way.
Always in the markets you hear, wow, I have a Pinot Noir here, and that reminds me to the Burgundy style of Pinot Noir. And I said, it's so boring to have a German Burgundy style Pinot Noir, because Burgundy is Burgundy, and the region here in Germany is the region here in Germany. So just be yourself. Just try to find your style. This is what the people are seeking for. And that's why, you know, it's like
Yeah, I agree. I think if you look into any other market, whether it be alcoholic or non-alcoholic, the customers like what they want. Sometimes it's marketing, sometimes it's just, you know, the bottle that it's in. But the truth is, customers know a lot more now, and they are looking for better quality. You know, they're willing to pay 50p more a bottle for a better quality beer, or, you know, an extra £3 a glass because it's a better quality product. And I always look at something, and I look at a menu, and there shouldn't be loads and loads of juices and mixes and things like that are high in sugar. At £4, and then someone complaining about buying a non-alcoholic beer at £4.50, because the truth is, non-alcoholic beer is a lot harder to make. So I believe the future is people paying for what they want, and all those mass-produced cheaper products will stay mass-produced and cheaper, kind of thing. I hope.
You see the development, so the people are actually, they are very active in seeking for alternatives, so more local producers, then environmental friendly, sustainable production, then also smaller producers, and also like meat from a real farm, not from a very industrial production. So this is so important, because the people have a better understanding now what's good for their health, or like the vegan way of like eating and so on. So we are also working on a concept that we will provide soon, a vegan-friendly, alcohol-free product. So this is for us, it's not because it's a trend, it's because we are working in the winery also vegan-friendly. Because we don't want to use animal products anymore, because when you see what happens in our society here, we need to think on the whole process a little bit more, because the production of meat or the waste of energy that is linked with it. So we need to think about the whole process. So that's why it's very good to talk about quality. And it's very obvious that quality is not necessarily connected with expensive prices, you know. So good quality for reasonable prices, this is the goal we want to achieve. And we are often saying here in the winery, we are talking about the chain of smiling faces. So just in the fact, when the customers are happy, then the people in between are happy, and lastly we are happy, because all of them are happy. And this is the goal. And that's why we are also very proud of these products.
I mean, I totally agree. I think the veganism, when you talk about it, well, I think we need to, getting all political, but I think we need to stop saying vegan and almost start talking about wellness and mindfulness, because actually I could be really mindful and only eat meat once a week. I'm not a vegan, but I might want my alcoholic products or my non-alcoholic products to just be made ethically, or, to be gluten-free, or, to be zero plastic, as you said. But it doesn't make me a vegan, it doesn't make me one thing or another. I think actually, if we talk about mindfulness, we talk about wellness, it all comes under one umbrella. So yeah, like I totally agree. I think it's gonna be interesting for us. Big drop. We've just launched our another vegan product. We've had a few. So for us, we're trying to stay relevant, stay active, but also cater for a lot of people. And we've got another 3 beers coming this year. So yeah, we're constantly trying to do collabs and stay relevant. We are a small producer, but at the same time, we have some core lines that are like what are stocked in Enotria, that is about supplying people with a great quality alternative, non-alcoholic. And obviously beer is very accessible for a lot of people. Non-alcoholic versions are becoming more and more popular. And I just see on menus, our core products, the stuff that's listed in Enotria, just literally sitting anywhere. With our craft stuff, though, we get to play around. We get to have fun. We get to bring out something new every year and learn. And this is what's driving us forward. So with innovation, like you're saying about the great pasty, well, different styles of beer have to be a certain way, and we might not be able to make it until we've tried making it, kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. And I see Enotria as the best partner for the both of us. So we are linked with them, and they have the access to the market, and they have a great team. And I see that they are supporting us in the way that we, as a producer, from the producer side, you from the producer side, we know exactly that they are our communicators in the market. And that's why I'm very glad that we have now the option also to talk on a video with each other about the development of the category. So it's so important to also bring from the producer side some comments to the market and
so what's the next big thing, right? Just before we sign off, what is your big thing coming in the next year, 2 years? What are you going to do? You put them in cans? You know, putting it in smaller bottles, plastic bags? What are you doing?
I think we do definitely have some in the pipeline, but I'm not able to talk about it right now.
Secrets.
No, but it will be really, really nice. And we are thinking more or less like innovation in health. These two topics, innovation and health, will be the most inspiring topics for us also in the coming years. So when we are talking also on a glass bottle, for example, we need to make sure it's lightweight bottles. For example, these sparkling bottles are empty like 650 grams. We need to find alternatives for that, or we need to work on the packaging. We're not able to produce the best product ever, like no environmental impact, completely CO2 neutral. This is impossible for us as a producer because you have to transport them to the various markets. You have to bottle them. Sometimes you have a little waste of energy, but we are trying to work on these contacts and to reduce the waste that we are having in the line. But the most interesting part is to increase the lifestyle component and on the other hand side, the health aspect. So we will definitely bring something, you know, for example, the red wine has really intense components that are able to improve your system when it comes to blood pressure and limiting the risk of a stroke, for example, and so on. And this is also
all those antioxidants.
Yes, perfect. And this is something that is still in the alcohol-free product as well, and there is no alcohol inside. So this is something also in your products that you have. Also the mineral components that you have the yeast. Yeast is so good for the skin, for example. And I think this is not the end of the road yet. We are still at the early beginning of the journey. So when we are thinking in quality aspects, I think we will have a very long time, and maybe we meet us again in 10 years online somewhere, or even in new markets in the UK, and we can talk about the next year, what will come next, and you will see there will be so many additions to the portfolio we are not thinking of yet. So there will be a lot of new things, and I'm not able to talk about the things at the moment because it's really kind of
secret. Yeah, no, and it should be. If you're the best at what you do, you want to keep that a secret. Man, thank you so much for having a chat with me. I know you've got to head off, and we've got stuff to do. So I've got to pop up to a couple of tap rooms. Anyway, look, have a great day. Thank you for your time, and I'll speak to you again.
Bye. See you. Bye.
That'll be enough. That'll be enough. All right. Hopefully that works. It says it's recording still. All right, stop.